Hey crafters! So today I'm going to do something fun. This isn't a tutorial or a yarn review or anything quite like that. This is going to be me trying something new. This is something I have wanted to do for a long time but have never had the opportunity, and I don't actually know that this is going to work because I don't have all the right materials because I've only got a little bit of supplies, so I didn't want to go out and buy a whole bunch of tools. But what I'm going to try doing today is I've got this alpaca fiber here, alpaca fleece. It's also sometimes called just alpaca, and I want to turn this into yarn. I've always wanted to do this. I've always said I wanted sheep, but that's like totally not realistic. And then I was doing research when I got this, and actually alpaca fiber seems to be even better than sheep's wool. And the reason why is because it's less oily, it's a lot cleaner, and it's also softer. Wool from sheep, when it's against the skin, it can be rough and itchy, but most people don't have any issues with alpaca against the skin. It feels like really good and soft. So anyways, the first step in turning stuff like this into yarn that you can actually crochet or knit with is you have to card it. But this is what I was talking about as far as not having tools and things. So instead what I've got these fun brushes here. These are actually American Girl brushes that I'm going to try using because they've got the wire bristles on them. I had to clean out all the doll hair so that way it didn't get carded into there. So I'm going to try using that for carding the wool. And then my dad made us kids some drop spindles for Christmas. So anyways, I thought you guys might want to see what it looks like when I'm crafting on my own and just kind of messing around and experimenting. So yeah, we're gonna try to card some alpaca fleece with American Girl hairbrushes. So let's see how this goes. So I was really tempted to try this off screen to see if it was gonna totally flop or not, but I did not, so I have no idea how this is gonna go. So I think the basic idea, kind of just drag it through like that. Problem is these brushes are really small, so this might lead to other challenges. And I'm also not completely sure what you do once it's like been carded. Like, I know you can spin it, but I don't know if it's just because carding it kind of straightens the fibers and stuff, or if it's because it makes it fluffy so it actually like bonds together better. I'm going to pull this off. This actually seems to kind of be working. I don't know if I'll actually be able to, well, I don't know. The problem was when I tried to spin it without doing anything to it, because I read some stuff that said you can sometimes do that, is I couldn't get the fibers to actually bond together. They were too fine and silky, so I don't know if it's just because I'm not skilled at spinning, or if it's because I don't know what I'm doing, or if it's because the fleece itself is difficult to use. So let me look at what I've got here, because the idea is you should be able to take this and kind of twirl it between your fingers. Well, it's kind of going together a little bit better than it would time. Maybe I just need to card it a whole bunch. And also I haven't done anything with this because when I got it, I didn't know what state the fleece was in. I don't know what has been done with it. There's kind of a funny story behind that. I'll put that up on my blog. So I don't know if it's actually been washed or if this was just literally on the alpaca's back and they sheared him and then it was put in this bag and given to me. So yeah, fun stuff. It's actually really clean. There hasn't been a ton of much of anything in here. Okay, I don't know if I totally just like messed that up by grabbing that the other way. So this is getting a lot fluffier. You can see this right here. You can kind of see the alpaca, how, you know, this would be like the side, this would be against the skin, how we've got more of a fluff to it. So I think this is probably going to help carding it. Because the point of carding it is to change the directions of the wool's fiber, or not the wool, sorry, the fleece's fiber, the direction that they run, so that way they're all in line together. So anyways, I'm going to keep messing with this and we'll see what happens. So here you can see I've got some carded fiber, some carded fleece. I actually may need to card this a little bit more, but when you're using brushes that are this size, it's kind of challenging to get a bunch carded or to card it very much. So in the future, if I end up continuing to do this, I may actually invest in some actual carding material, supplies versus doll hairbrushes. But the basic idea, I watched a couple of videos, so we're going to see if I can do this or not. If you know how to card and spin fiber, then you're probably sitting there laughing at me going, wow, I have no idea. And yes, you are correct. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just watched a couple of videos, read about it, and we're trying it. So the basic idea is you want to kind of have your clump of fleece here, and you kind of pull from it. And so for starting, I'm just going to kind of, oh, this is going to work much better than it was when we tried it last time. I'm going to get to make some alpaca yarn. Guys, I'm so excited. Okay, so I've got my drop spindle here, and I'm going to tie it around this bottom part. So I've got the end of my fiber attached on there. And then I'm going to come up the side, so I kind of keep pulling on this. I'll twist it a little bit before I put it in there. And I'm going to just hook it right there in the hook. And then whoop, my knot came undone. Cool. Let's retie that. Now I'm going to start spinning. When you spin, you kind of just twirl this, and then let it start feeding through your hand. And I don't know how to, this is going to be some very lumpy yarn because I don't know how to properly, spin it, I guess is what I'm going for there. How to properly pull and apply tension. So now you might have noticed it came apart, so supposedly you're able to just kind of hold it and it'll twist the fibers back together, which it looks like it did. Guys, I'm gonna make alpaca yarn. I am so excited. Okay, so then once you've got a little bit on here, you just can kind of start wrapping it around this part and then hook it back here. Okay, this is what I'm struggling with because in all the videos I watched, everyone was just kind of like, oh yeah, you just kind of pull on it and it comes gently. So maybe it's an error on my part of how I carded it. And if you know how to do this and you want to give me any pointers, I am more than willing to listen to any advice you might be able to give me. So yeah, this is the part I'm not sure how to do. Because see, I keep spinning and I'm getting to this kind of main clump of it, but I don't know how to properly change the tension. Okay, what I am learning is it's a little more difficult than all the videos and everybody online says, but it's not impossible. I've never done this before, and I'm doing decent, maybe? Let's wrap this around here some more. Let's see if I pull this off more. I wonder if I can kind of set that to the side. If I kind of fluff this out a little more. I bet if I carded it more and carded it better, I bet this would be a lot easier. I'm going to try kind of fluffing it like this. I'll kind of overlap this. And we'll try this. That was a lot of thises there, sorry. Still pretty thick. Which that's okay, I don't mind thicker yarns. It's actually really soft. If you look at it and you see that, it looks a little bit like it almost might be coarse because it's kind of pulled tight and then you've got all these little bumps on it. But it doesn't feel particularly smooth, I wouldn't say, but it's not at all itchy as I weirdly rub it on my face. But no, I'm rubbing on my face because, you know, your face skin is more sensitive. And yeah, it feels pretty soft. This would be very comfortable to wear against the skin, which is really cool. I've also heard that, or researched that alpaca fiber is very water repellent almost. So that's kind of cool. Whereas wool, you know, it gets wet, it absorbs the water, and then it gets heavy. And then it smells bad sometimes. We're gonna see how this turns out. And maybe you'll be inspired to try something you haven't before. Maybe you'll even try to spin fleece. Whether it's sheep's wool or whether it is alpaca fleece. I don't know if I already said this, but actually alpaca fleece is sometimes just called alpaca, which is kind of cool because like it's the animal, but it's also the animal product. Like it'd be if you called, you know, you get milk from cows, and you get eggs from chickens, and you get wool from sheep, but you get alpaca from alpaca. I don't know, that just kind of, it just strikes me as funny. I don't know why I like that so much, but. Well, I'm going to unwind this so we can look at the nice big strand I've got. Well, not unwind it, but like unwrap it from the base here. So guys, this is the piece of alpaca fiber yarn that I made, which it thinks is really cool. It's very uneven, and I've definitely got a bunch of lumping here and in the middle, and like this one's pretty thin. But what I think is so cool about this is it's like, you know, we buy clothing, we buy shirts and shorts, you know, from the store, but we never actually follow the process all the way through. I just think this is so cool, being able to start with the raw fiber and be able to card it, turn it into yarn, and then eventually, once I do more of this yarn, I'll probably need to pick up some more alpaca fiber from somewhere. But anyways, I think it's so cool how you go from the raw material to the finished product all by hand, because, you know, 500 years ago, that's how everybody did it. So I just think it's cool that even though some of these skills are kind of disappearing over time, that they can still be picked back up, and the same processes that have been used for centuries can still be used today. So anyways, guys, this has been my exciting alpaca yarn adventure, and I'll give you guys an update if I get more of this spun, or if I try to make anything, or if I order more. I don't know. Okay, that's getting really thin there as I'm winding this around. I'm gonna have to definitely practice some more and do some more research on this, because that is like really crazy yarn that I just made. I don't know what I'd be able to use that for, but hopefully I'll get better. And if you know any tips that you want to share with me, definitely comment below, and give it a like if you appreciate my efforts. If you thought my efforts were terrible but kind of funny but in a good spirit, then give this video a like. And as always, go check out my blog. Like I said, there's a fun story behind this yarn, or excuse me, this fleece, and how I got it. So go check out the story on my blog. And until next time, happy crafting.